Welcome to Batshit, a frank and funny look at living with mental illness.
Oi! While we touch on several illnesses, Batshit is focused on those along the spectrum of bipolar disorders. I'm your host, Adam.
And I'm your other host, Brad.
And we're both bipolar. So strap in and let's see how batshit we really are.
Spoiler alert, pretty damn batshit. Right.
Right.
This episode's topic,
Do you
Guy Ritchie movies.
know what's the topic of this episode?
Self-care.
Self-care.
Yeah.
You know why I did that really bad, like Australian English accent, is because one of the people that listen to and follow my D&D stream, we were recently talking on Discord because we did a awesome charity event, and it was for Make-A-Wish Kids International.
great.
It was awesome. We raised almost $4,000, right?
That's awesome.
So, yeah, super cool. But they donated, and because they said that this podcast has really helped them, and they love when we do accents. So I was like, the least we can do is a bad accent to help out our friends.
You know, I practiced it for a while. Let me see if I still got it. I had a pretty good South London.
Ooh, go ahead. I want it.
Right. You see, I can tell you want to hit me right now. But here's the thing you need to know, is I'm a right awful cunt. You hit a right awful cunt, you better expect to get hit back by a right awful cunt. Are you ready for that?
That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I always like dip into characters. I'm like, hey, Roy Kent, he talks like this. And I say, I have to talk down here. And it's like, it's never great.
There's so many weird British accents.
It's true,
like,
yeah.
Like you got like Northern Britain,
Right.
which almost sounds like Irish or Scottish or something, but it's
Right.
just still, it's
Right.
it's English. It's just got like a tweak to it.
Yeah, and then you got that like the middle of England, which almost sounds like a bit Nordic. It's this weird kind of like lilting, like rhythmic. I can't do it well.
That's probably what it is. It's probably like Germanic language influence.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised. And then of course you got that Dickensian orphan there is. This episode's not about accents.
Yeah.
Bad accents.
Although practicing accents could be a form of self-care.
A form of self-care. What is your form of self-care? Please write in.
Yeah.
Please email. Please.
What do you do?
What do you do? What do you do? What's your top self-care? Go ahead. Wait, hold on. I don't mean something that's known to help depression. I don't mean working out, eating healthy, something like that. Sorry, go.
I take a hot bath.
Hot bath helps.
Yeah. I turn into a housewife from a Lifetime movie.
You got the towel wrapped around your head.
I got the towel wrapped around my head. I got candles going.
Nice.
I'm just like relaxing in the hot bath.
Do you have a nice tub?
No.
No. We don't really have a nice tub either.
I'd like one.
Yeah, like I've always wanted like a clawfoot tub.
Yeah.
Those look so cool. But supposedly because it's like they're freestanding, they're porcelain, like they get cold really fast.
Oh, I could see that.
And I'm going, but I want like one that's kind of like a jacuzzi. Like it's always that really nice temperature without the chlorine.
Yeah. Hot baths are something I do. I was doing red light therapy for a while.
Oh, what's red light therapy?
So there's a certain frequency of red light that is supposed to do all sorts of things. There have been studies that show not only can it improve your mood, it helps you sleep, it improves collagen production. There's some studies that show it can help you grow hair.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's nuts, but it's a frequency that the sun actually produces. Like we don't get, because we're indoors all the time, we don't get this red light.
Sure. Well,
We
where
get
the
blue
hell
light.
would you get red light?
Yeah, we get a lot of blue light and white light.
Okay.
But red light is part of that spectrum
Okay.
that the sun produces, and that's something we don't get a lot of. Obviously fluorescent lights
Don't do it.
aren't doing that. And so there's supposed to be a lot of health benefits to red light. And I got a little red light machine.
Is it like almost like a sun tanning type machine?
Kind of, it's a panel. I hang it from
Yeah.
the door. And I was using it daily for a while, and that was helping.
Oh,
And then
really?
I've kind of fallen out of the habit, but I want to start doing it again.
How long did you do it for?
Like 10 minutes at a time.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally doable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could even probably hang it on your next to your computer, right? So when you're working, you could take yourself some red light.
I mean, it's pretty intense.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like you could use it. You don't want to look directly into it.
Right.
Like,
So
it came
not
with,
Trump into the sun.
right.
type of-
It came with little goggles
Oh, okay.
that I put on while I'm standing in front of it. But if you used it while you were doing something else,
Hmm.
like looking at a screen, it would basically just make everything look green.
Oh, yeah.
Like
then
you
I
could
guess-
still work,
Right.
but it's
Well-
engaging the cones and the rods.
Right.
And
10 minutes isn't bad though. That's pretty good.
yeah,
That's pretty
yeah. I
good.
usually put on a podcast.
Ooh, nice. Oh, what's
Like
one of
this
your
one.
favorite podcasts?
I like to listen to Batshit.
What? I've heard of that show. We're a show. That's funny to think
Yeah.
about. I've talked about self-care before. One of the things I do is read, so I've mentioned that a number of times. But something else I do oftentimes is bake.
Oh, really?
I cook.
Yeah.
And that I do that for a couple of reasons. One, it's usually for someone else. Like I usually I'm gonna make brownies because Mandy loves brownies,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna bring a bunch of cookies into the D&D group, or I'm gonna make a lasagna because my friends just had a baby and they don't have any fucking time to cook.
Yeah.
So I make it about someone else. I don't make it about me, which helps because of who I am. But it also, you disappear into the task, right? Like, if you are cooking, much like if you're building something, because you are building something, you can't be doing 1,000 things at the same time. Like, you kind of have to be quasi-focused on what's going on in front of you. And at the same time, you can turn your brain off from everything else and just focus on the task in front of you, which is very manageable, right? And I'm not talking about making like fucking souffles or anything like that. It's like I have a recipe for double chocolate chip cookies, which if anyone wants it, you feel free to reach out to me. They're very good, which I could do in my sleep. But there's something about sitting there and just focusing on this task of making cookies for other people that really helps me. And I wonder if it is the fact that it is for other people. I never thought about it that way until I started talking about it.
Maybe. But like you said, it's probably also the focus.
Sure, the
You
focus.
know,
I mean,
you
like
have
the
a
reading,
task.
same thing, yeah.
It it's been scientifically proven that just completing something gives us a little boost of I think dopamine. Maybe
One of the
serotonin.
good chemicals.
Yeah, one of the good chemicals.
Yeah, now I forgot what I was going to say. God, where's that dopamine when I need it? Come on, dopamine.
Can we just take hits of dopamine?
Is that a thing we can do? We
I
should
don't
be able
know.
to buy it at this point.
Yeah.
Come on, science,
Yeah,
step
forget
up.
like cocaine and stuff. Like, give me somebody who's just like, man, I got some dopamine. You want some dopamine?
Dude, that dealer would be awesome. I'd call that guy or girl all the time. It's
Yeah.
2023. It could be a female.
Yeah.
Or non-binary. I don't care.
That's true.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Self-care is important, guys. Like, you have to treat yourself. And it doesn't matter what it is. Don't judge it. Don't judge it. Is it retail therapy? Is it shopping? Is that your thing? Cool. Is it baking? Cool. Is it, I don't know, being a furry? Whatever. That's cool.
Yeah.
You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. And you have to find areas of self-care.
Yep.
Something else I've started doing at the recommendation of my therapist is EFT.
Yep. And yeah, I've heard of EFT.
Yeah. I forget what it stands for.
Yeah, I don't know either.
something therapy or technique. See, I don't even know what the T is. I suppose I could look it up. But anyway, there's a series of acupressure points.
Mhm.
And when you start to feel anxiety, which, by the way, I don't know if I told you, but I also have an anxiety disorder.
Oh, yes, you did
Yeah,
tell me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it just keeps piling
Just
on.
keeps
people.
coming
It just
on,
keeps
baby.
Piling on. But so you go through and you tap these series of pressure points
Mm-hmm.
on your body, and it just takes like a minute to go through them, and it really does ease the anxiety.
Are you just like punching yourself in the dick for like
Yeah,
10
basically.
minutes?
Basically, that's the primary
pressure
pressure
point.
point.
Pressure point. Punch.
And you have to hit it really,
really,
hard.
really hard. Get a baseball bat.
Then you sound like Ben Shapiro.
Hi-oh, call back.
Hashtag masculinity.
Hashtag masculinity.
No, but it's like on the bottom of your hand
Yep.
is the first one, and then around your eyes.
I always do that one. Like I
Yeah.
I view it like I'm doing sinus stuff, but it's not. It's more than
Yeah, and then it's above your lip, between your lip and your nose, right below your lip, your upper rib cage, and then the top of your head.
Top of your head.
Yeah.
Interesting. Something to think about with self-care is Brad was talking about, like, when you're feeling anxious, X, Y, and Z. But I think something that's important about self-care that people overlook is you have to do it regularly.
Yeah.
You don't just do it when you're feeling bad. Because here's why. You feel like shit, right? What kind of energy do you have to go out and buy a red light machine? Or what kind of energy do you have to make sure you have everything you need to make chocolate chip cookies?
Right.
You have to be doing self-care on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I don't mean every day. Like, every day is hard, man. But I remember back when I was teaching martial arts, a lot of shit was going rough for me. I got myself one massage a month. One massage a month. And I look forward to that thing every month.
Yeah.
This person I went to is friggin' amazing. Raindrop Bodyworks in Los Angeles, California. I don't think my masseuse works there anymore, but the place itself is really great and relatively reasonable. And I would go once a month, and that was kind of my self-care.
Yeah.
That's what I had. That was what was available to me.
Mm-hmm.
You may not have the capacity for retail therapy. Yeah. You may not be able to bake worth a damn, or you may not even have a kitchen, but you can find a way to do self-care for yourself.
Yeah.
And what would you describe self-care as? Like, describe it. Like, not describe it. Define it.
Well, first, I kept trying to think of a way to work in a joke about hiring an escort, and I just couldn't.
Don't worry, you'll get there, buddy. We're only 12 minutes into the episode. Yeah. You got time.
Okay. Cool.
Don't put pressure on yourself like that. That's not good self-care. That's bad self-care.
That's true. I guess that could be self-care for someone, though, legitimately.
Sure, I guess so, yeah. Hiring someone, an escort, doesn't even have to be for sex. Could just be for company.
Dinner,
sure. We'll see a show.
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera.
There you go.
Why not?
Dinner and a show. So what is self-care?
Yeah, how would you define it? Because it's more than just taking care of yourself.
I think it's things that are fulfilling, that help you root yourself.
Yeah, grounding, yep.
In the baseline you, and help combat depression and anxiety and etc. to whatever extent. Again, I've talked before about how I just want to lay in bed all day.
Sure.
And that's one of the things a hot bath does, is I'm still not doing anything. I'm laying and relaxing. But that is the difference. I don't feel depressed. I'm laying and relaxing.
Right.
There's like active relaxation going on. Instead of curling up in bed and just being like, oh God, let me think of all this shit that's going wrong.
Right.
Right.
I would define it as something that makes you feel better immediately.
Yeah, I think that's
immediately, right? Because we've talked on the show before about things like eating well and working out and shit. I went to the gym today. I don't feel good. My muscles hurt. That wasn't self-care, in my opinion. Now, will it lead to something down the line that might equate to self-care? Maybe. Or, there are those people who run a lot, and, they talk about getting, the endorphin high from the run.
Right.
Which I have never experienced from running. Running's a terrible thing, in my opinion. But something like taking a hot bath is immediate and active. Getting a massage, buying something, retail therapy, seeing that escort you wanted to see. Yeah. That's immediate.
With retail therapy and escorts, though, if you're bipolar, just make sure it's not about the manic overspending and
right. Stay in one lane, pick a lane. Just
the risk taking, the impulse control.
Right. Definitely pick one lane, not two.
Yeah. If you're baseline you and you're like, I've given it a lot of thought,
right,
and I'm going to hire an escort. That's different.
Yeah, which is rarely the case, I think.
And by the way, if you're going to hire an escort, my recommendation.
oh no, mine was about massages. I guess yours kind of is.
I've started my own service.
You're the escort now?
No.
Because I'm saying there's probably ladies and men out there looking for a Danny DeVito lookalike. Danny DeVito escort service.
DD. Double D.
Oh my God, Double D's escort service. Oh
no. I have a stable.
Oh, you do?
I'm
Yeah.
not a pimp.
Well, kind of sounds like you're a pimp now.
No, I'm not a pimp. These girls give me a cut of their money.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I make sure that they're safe.
Yep.
That's a pimp.
That's a pimp. You're a pimp. You don't have the fashion style of a pimp yet, but you'll get there. You'll get there, buddy.
I'll get there. I'm kind of a, I'm pimping differently.
You're changing the game?
I'm a 2023 pimp.
Oh, wait, does that mean you're dressed like a hipster?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
flannel shirts?
yeah.
And,
I listen to like, I don't know, Vampire Weekend.
or something.
Yeah, I don't know. What do hipsters listen
Mumford
to?
and Sons? I don't know. We're too old. Our versions of hipster music aren't even a thing
Yeah, they're
anymore.
like 2005.
Sad.
Which, by the way, don't you still feel like it's the 2000s? I feel
think, yeah.
I feel like it hit like 2005 and time froze.
Yeah, I do feel like that.
When somebody says 10 years ago, I think the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife was, what was she saying the other day? Oh, no. We were talking about a 9/11. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Fucking 9/11 happened over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 20 years ago. That doesn't mean it's not still impactful.
Yeah.
It's just, I remember that moment. Much like I'm sure the generation before us remembers when JFK died. You know what I mean?
I met Shannon 3 days before 9/11.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. We were actually emailing each other that morning
Oh, yeah?
when the planes hit the tower. And then I went to work. I thought it was just like some idiot in a Cessna that like flew into the tower in New
Just-
York. And I was just like cracking jokes.
Oh, no.
and shit.
Oh, no, Brad. Oh, no.
Yeah, then the news updated.
Yeah. I got like 3 or 4 phone calls from close friends because I'm Syrian. I'm Arabic. And they're like, watch yourself today. Why? Turn on the news. And yeah. Luckily I didn't encounter much in the way of, but it doesn't matter. Time did not stop in 2005. It stopped in 2005. I'd still be in my relatively early 20s. And, wouldn't be so fat.
Because you're so obese.
Obese isn't the word. Jiggly. I'm going to use the word jiggly.
Soft.
Soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cushiony.
Cushiony.
Kind
There you
of
go.
cushiony.
Thanks for listening. Help us continue the conversation. Leave us a comment with your thoughts, experiences, or questions about mental health. Every opinion and viewpoint is valid. Just don't be a dick.
Hey friends, Brad and I started Batshit because we needed someone to talk to about our bipolar. So when looking for a sponsor, BetterHelp was the obvious choice. BetterHelp provides access to therapists via text, via Zoom, via email, via phone call, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I don't need to tell anyone how broken the American healthcare system is, especially when it comes to mental illness. But the beautiful thing about BetterHelp is that they'll work with you. Go to www.betterhelp.com/batshit. You'll get 10% off for the first month, and you'll get someone to talk to right now. If you need to talk to someone, do it. Please. We love you. Self-care.
I got complimented on my butt today.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I think it's these pants I'm wearing.
Ooh, you got butt pants.
Yeah. But,
Well, turn on. Let me see. Stand up.
All right,
Let me
all
see
right.
these butt pants.
Can I show my butt to the
Yeah,
audience?
sure. Give the audience a little butt shot.
All right. For those of you watching the video,
There you go.
let's see.
Oh, you know what? Those are flattering to your butt.
What do you think?
Those are good butt pants.
You got a nice butt?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Okay, now you lost me. Now you lost me with the post.
I got at a shuttle at an airport once, and the guy driving the shuttle, when I got on, he goes, "You're one big dude," and I was like, "Thanks." He goes, "You got a big butt too," and I was like, "Is that a compliment or an
What is
insult?"
that? Yeah.
And he looks at me, he goes, "I ain't no queer or nothing. I'm just saying you got a big butt."
I gotta tell you, I was in the gym the other day, and since I've been started going to this gym, I've heard amazing one-liners every time. The other day, I was in there, and one 20-something bro, wrapped in his towel, just out the shower, was talking to another 20-something bro who they clearly didn't know each other, and the guy was getting changed, whatever. And he goes, "Yo, bro, you look aesthetic as fuck." And like, I'm tying my shoe to leave, and I go, "What?
Aesthetic
As fuck?" And here's where my mind went. It went, you just ask him out, man. Just ask him out. And two, I'm like, wait, is that like a new thing young people are saying?
Aesthetic
As
as fuck.
opposed to like, yo, man, you look ripped, or you look swole, you look built, you look aesthetic as fuck.
Wait, I mean, bro, listen to me. You are artistically sublime.
I'm just saying, like, you're a visual masterpiece, is what it is.
You
Just
motherfucker.
you motherfucker. Yeah, gotta add the fucker in there.
Yeah.
This is for me. This is self-care.
Laughter is self-care.
But the podcast is self-care.
Yeah.
You know, listening to some of this shit, doing the podcast. The podcast in and of itself is a lot of work.
Getting compliments on my butt
Yeah, there you
is
go.
self-care.
The podcast in itself is a lot of work. Setting up these damn lights, recording this damn shit, editing it down, cutting social media posts, blah, 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 blah. But when I'm actually here and doing the podcast with you, this is self-care.
Yeah.
This is self-care. It's a way of
Yeah.
getting shit off my chest, voicing concerns, getting out my thoughts, hearing your thoughts on questions I have, or, you know. And that's incredibly simple, because all that is a fucking conversation. Right? At the end of the day, this is a conversation.
Yeah.
We could not do this podcast and it would still be self-care. Like, there could be no microphones.
Yeah, if we just got together once a week and had scotch and like talked about our bullshit.
Yeah. But look at that. That's
Which is
self-
basically how the podcast started. Is we did that and we were laughing a lot.
Yeah,
and we
we
were
should
like,
record
hey,
it.
idea.
but that's just it, right? Like, that's self-care. Hanging out with, you know, they talk about how after your, I think it's like 30s or like mid-20s, your number of friends drops drastically.
Yeah.
Like, it plummets. And most often that's because people start having families, they start getting, you know, full-time jobs, and hanging out with people gets harder and harder and harder, right? Like, D&D is a great example. Like, there's that great, you know, D&D joke of like, you know, who wants to be in a game? Me. You know, who loves D&D? Me. Who's available for D&D? Crickets. Yeah, this is nothing. That wasn't a great joke, but it was a joke. It's probably told better by other people. Anyway, point being, hanging out with people is self-care. You know, it doesn't have to be anything serious. It can be just sitting and talking, shooting the shit.
Watching football on Sundays, getting together to barbecue.
Well, we went out for a drink a couple Mondays back.
Yeah.
Man, that was great.
Yeah.
Like, it was like an hour and a half, and we just shot the shit at the bar, and, you know.
Then a friend I hadn't talked to in forever, like, emailed me and was like, hey, you know, it'd be good to see you. Come out to this thing at Point Doom.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not going to that. That's where people get murdered.
And I drove down there and I couldn't fucking find anybody. And then I couldn't get a hold of them. And I was like, God damn it. Like, I even started thinking, I was like, were they fucking with me? They're just like, let's see if this asshole will drive out to the beach.
Moron.
Yeah. And then the next day they were like, oh, sorry, a boat came. We all got out on the boat and I didn't have service. And I was
Wait,
like,
what? A boat came?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is Southern California life, people. People are
Yeah.
fucking crazy here.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Still have not seen that person.
Probably never will.
Probably
they probably
never will.
died at
Yeah.
Point Dune.
Yeah.
And the person who texted you
It was a ghost.
or they're a murderer. It's like one of those two things.
Yeah.
You know what's self-care for me too? Bad action movies.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Predator. Okay, first of all, hold on. Not bad action movies, because Predator's a great action movie. I'm going to call them schlocky
Schlocky. Yeah.
action movies. You know, give me a Predator.
Have you seen Miami Connection?
Oh, yeah.
That one's great. Samurai Cop.
Samurai Cop is a good one. Well, I just had one in my head, and it's gone now. Damn it. I'm not even drinking. God, that makes me angry. I'll come back to it. It'll be like the end of the podcast. And
I
I'll
love
scream
it.
out
There's a
the
line
name.
in Samurai Cop. I'm going to get it wrong, but it's like the police captain or whatever. And he's frustrated and everybody's left his office. And he leans back in his chair and he goes, I feel like I've been screwed in the ass by a club. And it's a big one.
That's just good writing. I mean, that's
Although
just good writing.
The best line in Samurai Cop
Mm.
is the main villain is talking about Samurai Cop to his goons.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I want you to cut off his head and bring it here and put it on my piano. And then his head goon goes, I will cut off his head and I will bring it here and I will put it on your piano.
What's that capoeira movie?
Only the strong.
Only the Strong.
Bananue, bananue, banana.
That's about a young man who comes back and saves a disenfranchised school with the art of capoeira, and then he beats up drug dealers with that.
Yeah.
martial art form.
Is that Mark Dacascos?
Mark Dacascos, yeah. I was doing capoeira when I saw that, and I was like, not like literally doing it. I was studying it. I was just, in the park. No, but or Roadhouse.
Oh, Roadhouse.
Dude.
We've talked about Roadhouse.
Roadhouse
before.
all day. You're not feeling like 100%? Put on Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Put on Roadhouse, man. Anything with the sways, honestly. I
Yeah.
could watch anything.
That
Swayze
movie has
every
so
day.
many quotable lines.
Oh, yeah.
Pain don't hurt.
Right? A polar bear fell on me.
Be nice until it's time not to be nice.
Right.
And then my favorite line is, I used to fuck guys like you in prison. It's like, Jesus, man.
You are the bouncers. I am the cooler.
Yeah. The guy's got a knife in his boot.
It's just good stuff. It's
Yeah.
just real good stuff. And you know what? You don't have to explain your self-care to anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like people get judged on their self-care all the time. And that's not fair. Like, take D&D, man. How many people judge people who play D&D? Because, we're nerds and whatever. Who gives a fuck? We like it. We have fun when we do it. We're enjoying ourselves. It's a form of self-care. And it's 4 hours where I'm not thinking about all my other shit. Right?
Yeah.
That bad action movie you like to watch, 2 hours or 90 minutes of not thinking about that other shit. Yeah, it can be that simple. And don't let anyone tell you that what your self-care is wrong or bad. You
Yeah.
want to go to the club and dance like an idiot? Do it.
Yeah.
Man, woman, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, go. Because dancing is a form of self-care.
Yeah.
When Mandy is feeling really, really shitty, I'm like, babe, go take a dance class. Just go take a dance class. Doesn't matter what it is, go. And it's hard for her sometimes because, when you're feeling fucking shitty and down, you don't want to get up. You don't want to move. You want to stay in your bed or under the
Yeah.
covers or whatever.
But
But-
you got to get up to get down.
There it is. You're worried about not... See, leave the escort joke alone. Stick to 90s rap music jokes. That's where you really shine.
That's where it's at.
That's where you
That's where it's
shine at.
Two turntables and a microphone.
Where it's at. I love that song. Oh, is that Beck? That's Beck, right?
I think that's bad.
That's Beck, because that's not really hip hop or rap. Anyway, and that's why I think it's important to have a schedule for self-care, because when you're in the thick of it, doing that thing that gives you that immediate relief is going to be hard to do.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you have a dance class you go to every Wednesday night, or you get your massage every third Sunday of the month, like, you're just doing it. You're going to do it.
And be careful not to confuse self-care with self-medication.
Right.
Like going out and having a drink with your buddies, self-care. Getting drunk,
Yeah.
self-medication.
That's self-medicating. Yeah, that's not the
Yeah.
same thing. It's
Yeah.
that's not helping you. Here's another way to think about it. When I am baking, I am doing something actively that takes my mind off of the bad crap in my life, right?
Yeah.
When I'm drinking, I'm just trying to drown out the bad stuff in my life.
Yeah.
That stuff is still on your mind when you're drinking.
Yeah.
In fact, you drink harder because you're still thinking about all the crap that's wrong in your life.
Yeah.
Now, when you're baking, you're not thinking about it. You're just baking. Or when you're watching The Predator, you're not thinking about it. You're baking. I mean,
You're baking while watching Predator.
Now, if you really want to have a good weekend,
You're baked while watching Predator.
You're baked while baking while watching Predator. That Arnold documentary is pretty good. I don't know if
I
you've
need to
seen
watch
Arnold.
that.
That's pretty good.
You watch that.
That dude was he was a fucking machine. He was. Have I talked about this on the podcast? This is fascinating to me. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, total left turn. Arnold Schwarzenegger was raised in Austria by his parents, who were like super strict and really harsh on him and his brother. And he talks about how that was a driving force in his life because of how he was treated and the conduct that he was expected to have, or the level that he was expected to achieve. You know, they were constantly being put in contest with each other, him and his brother. That's why he got to where he's at, because he had this drive and this work. You know what I mean? Work ethic. His brother became an alcoholic and got into a car crash and died.
Yeah.
And that's how two people with very different brain chemistry
reacted
to the same situation because they were like a year apart. I think Arnold's brother was a year older or something like that.
I mean, you could make the argument that Arnold found self-care.
Yeah, in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
In bodybuilding. Because that dude body built. Like, when you hear about his schedule of bodybuilding, it was crazy.
He had self-care. His brother had self-medication.
Right. Self-medication is never the way to go, which is really hard for us to comment about because we're usually drinking when we do this podcast.
Yeah. Well, it's again, there's a difference between a couple of drinks with a friend.
Right.
And
we're not getting obliterated.
Getting drunk. Or
Yeah.
doing it several times a week.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, same thing with sex, having sex with your significant other, or, if that's your thing, putting thought into it and hiring an escort,
Sure.
is a lot different than being like, I got to get laid tonight. I'm going out to the club and
Right.
I'm just going to pick up the first
Didn't
chick.
matter who she is. Yeah. Or who he is.
Yeah.
It's
That's self-medicating.
Right. Because again, that shit that's happening in your life, that bad crap is still there. It's still there, and you're not stopping to think. You're still thinking about it that whole time.
Yeah.
You never, until you can't think anymore. You drink to the point where you can't think anymore.
Yeah.
And that's self-medicating, and that's not good. Self-care, on the other hand, and find what yours is. Tell us what yours is. I'm really curious because I'm sure there are so many different types of self-care that I can't even fathom.
People do yoga.
Hell, people do crosswords, solve math problems.
Yeah. They
Right?
paint.
Painting, sure.
I mean, you find a thing, something that's maybe kind of meditative.
Sure. Well,
Like I could see how, obviously yoga, you tie meditation to it, but I could see how like painting or a crossword puzzle
sure.
is kind of meditative.
My sister refinishes furniture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'll like go find like a shitty end table or something like that, or a coffee table, and she'll sand it down. She'll refinish or repaint it, and what she tries to do is like sell that piece of furniture on Craigslist or whatever to get about the same amount of money back she spent on the piece originally. Like this isn't. It's kind of a side hustle, not really a side hustle, because what it really is meditative for her.
Yeah.
And all she's doing is refurnishing like old coffee tables.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's what does you, crocheting, stitching,
Mm-hmm.
I think finding something where you're creating helps. And that creation can be anything. That could be like, I'm going to work on a car. I am going to knit a scarf.
Well, again, you're accomplishing something, and you get that, whatever that is, the dopamine rush, the serotonin, whatever, from finishing your accomplishment.
And every time you look at that accomplishment, you get a little piece of that dopamine again. Right? Because you're like, I did that.
If you rebuilt your car, every time
Dude.
you go out to drive your car, somebody's like, man, that Mustang is pretty cherry.
Right, there it is.
People
right?
still say that, cherry?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know. But you know what? Build a shelf.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've built multiple shelves in my home. It's not hard to do, everybody. It's really not. The most difficult thing about building a shelf, and this is if you want to get really technical, because honestly, you could just go to Home Depot, buy all the parts you need for like maybe $40 or $50 and hang a shelf after you stain it. But like, I went to a reclaimed wood store. I got the wood. I cut it to size. I put it through, planers to level it out. That was the hardest part, finding a planer and using it. So because I don't want to buy one. Those things are expensive. But now every time I walk into my kitchen and I look at my shelves, I'm like, I did that. That feels good. I did that. And when we move out of this house, I'm taking them fuckers with me. Because I have no doubt that when people come to look at the house, they're going to be like, oh, look at those nice shelves. I'm like, yeah, I don't get comfortable with those.
Yeah. Talking about, do people still say cherry? I decided, I heard something in a song, and I was like, I want to make that a thing that people say. And it's, I forget exactly how the lyric goes, but it's like, I asked her if her name was Sweet, and she said, boy, it's Dagger. And I'm like, ooh, that's cool. Like,
boy, it's Dagger.
Dagger. Like,
Right.
How'd you like that movie? Man, it's Dagger.
Ooh, that's kind of.
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Isn't that
like
cool?
50s greaser type of lingo. I like that.
So
Dagger.
listen, batshit badasses out there. Let's make Dagger.
Let's
a
make
thing.
Dagger happen.
Yeah.
That's
That's my self-care.
That's it. The escalation of stabbings and based off of a podcast has escalated exponentially. Self-care. Guys, this honestly is my biggest form of self-care at the moment. I'm trying to make a lot of changes in my life. I'm trying to secure long-term work. I'm trying to get back into shape. I'm trying to, work on my relationship with my wife. I'm trying to train my dog. All that shit's work. And aspects of this are work too, but talking with Brad to y'all, getting your responses, that's a form of that's self-therapy for me. That's self-care. So thank you for being my self-care. And we hope this podcast is part of your self-care, listening and laughing with us and relating.
Yeah, and it seems to be a lot of the messages we get from people, talk about how great it is to laugh at the show, that they feel like they're hanging out with a couple of friends.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people feel seen. They're hearing the same problems they go through. And, I'm glad that we can do that for you guys. I'm glad you're okay listening to us do it for ourselves.
It's kind of like watching people masturbate. Like, are you into that? I guess you're into that.
You just had to go ruin it.
Did I ruin it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Or maybe you
buddy.
made it better for some people.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I finished. Hi-oh!
Oh, bada bing.
No. Sorry, everybody. Laughter is also the best medicine. Find something that makes you laugh. Find a comedy special on Netflix. Find a podcast that's funny. Find, I don't know, buy a book of dad jokes and tell them to your kids. You know what I mean? Like, whatever makes you smile and laugh, because that right there is an endorphin release, right?
Whatever floats that boat.
Whatever floats the boat, baby. Keep at your self-care. We'll keep at our self-care. And hopefully that self-care will help us keep fighting this fucking torture of a disease. Thank you. We love you. Keep fighting.